Hi friends, in this video we are going to make 48 sentences using a single verb. Similarly, I am going to add 4 more verbs to that and we are going to make 240 sentences. Why 240 sentences? For us to practice and for our vocal cords to be opened and the words to come out freely. At the same time, we are going to gain confidence. We are going to learn how to pronounce some words. And we are also going to learn the neutral accent. I wish you all the best. Let's start with the verb take. 48 sentences. I take children to school. I don't take children to school. Do you take children to school? Don't you take children to school? I took children to school. I didn't take children to school. Did you take children to school? Didn't you take children to school? I will take children to school. I won't take children to school. Will you take children to school? Won't you take children to school? I am taking children to school. I aren't taking children to school. Are you taking children to school? Aren't you taking children to school? I was taking children to school. I wasn't taking children to school. Were you taking children to school? Weren't you taking children to school? I will be taking children to school. I won't be taking children to school. Will you be taking children to school? Won't you be taking children to school? I have taken children to school. I haven't taken children to school. Have you taken children to school? Haven't you taken children to school? I had taken children to school. I hadn't taken children to school. Had you taken children to school? Hadn't you taken children to school? I will have taken children to school. I won't have taken children to school. Will you have taken children to school? Won't you have taken children to school? I have been taking children to school. I haven't been taking children to school. Have you been taking children to school? Haven't you been taking children to school? I had been taking children to school. I hadn't been taking children to school. Had you been taking children to school? Hadn't you been taking children to school? I will have been taking children to school. I won't have been taking children to school. Will you have been taking children to school? Won't you have been taking children to school? Let's go to the next verb. The next verb is teach. We teach English. We don't teach English. Do you teach English? Don't you teach English? We taught English. We didn't teach English. Did you teach English? Didn't you teach English? We will teach English. We won't teach English. Will you teach English? Won't you teach English? We are teaching English. We aren't teaching English. Are you teaching English? Aren't you teaching English? We were teaching English. We weren't teaching English. Were you teaching English? Weren't you teaching English? We will be teaching English. We won't be teaching English. Will you be teaching English? Won't you be teaching English? We have taught English. We haven't taught English. Have you taught English? Haven't you taught English? We had taught English. We hadn't taught English. Had you taught English? Hadn't you taught English? We will have taught English. We won't have taught English. Will you have taught English? Won't you have taught English? We have been teaching English. We haven't been teaching English. Have you been teaching English? Haven't you been teaching English? We had been teaching English. We hadn't been teaching English. Had you been teaching English? Hadn't you been teaching English? We had been teaching English. We hadn't been teaching English. Had you been teaching English? Hadn't you been teaching English? We will have been teaching English. We won't have been teaching English. Will you have been teaching English? Won't you have been teaching English? Let's go to the next verb. The next verb is tear. You tear books. You don't tear books. Do I tear books? Don't I tear books? You tore books. You didn't tear books. Did I tear books? Didn't I tear books? You will tear books. You won't tear books. Will I tear books? Won't I tear books? You are tearing books. You aren't tearing books. Am I tearing books? Haven't I tearing books? You were tearing books. You weren't tearing books. Was I tearing books? Wasn't I tearing books? You will be tearing books. You won't be tearing books. Will I be tearing books? won't I be tearing books? You have torn books, you haven't torn books. Have I torn books, haven't I torn books? You had torn books, you hadn't torn books. Had I torn books, hadn't I torn books? You will have torn books, you won't have torn books. Will I have torn books, won't I have torn books? You have been tearing books, you haven't been tearing books. Have I been tearing books, haven't I been tearing books? You had been tearing books, you hadn't been tearing books. Had I been tearing books, hadn't I been tearing books? You will have been tearing books, you won't have been tearing books. Will I have been tearing books, won't I have been tearing books? Let's go to the next one. The next one is tell. They tell lies. They don't tell lies. Do they tell lies? Don't they tell lies? They told lies. They didn't tell lies. Did they tell lies? Didn't they tell lies? They will tell lies. They won't tell lies. Will they tell lies? Won't they tell lies? They are telling lies. They aren't telling lies. Are they telling lies? Aren't they telling lies? They were telling lies. They weren't telling lies. Were they telling lies? Weren't they telling lies? They will be telling lies. They won't be telling lies. Will they be telling lies? Won't they be telling lies? They have told lies. They haven't told lies. Have they told lies? Haven't they told lies? They had told lies. They hadn't told lies. Had they told lies? Hadn't they told lies? They will have told lies. They won't have told lies. Will they have told lies? Won't they have told lies? They have been telling lies. They haven't been telling lies. Have they been telling lies? Haven't they been telling lies? They had been telling lies. They hadn't been telling lies. Had they been telling lies? Hadn't they been telling lies? They will have been telling lies. They won't have been telling lies. Will they have been telling lies? Won't they have been telling lies? Let's go to the next one. The next one is think. Parents think clearly. Parents don't think clearly. Do parents think clearly? Don't parents think clearly? Parents thought clearly. Parents didn't think clearly. Did parents think clearly? Didn't parents think clearly? Parents will think clearly. Parents won't think clearly. Will parents think clearly? Won't parents think clearly? Parents are thinking clearly. Parents aren't thinking clearly. Are parents thinking clearly? Aren't parents thinking clearly? Parents were thinking clearly. Parents weren't thinking clearly. Were parents thinking clearly? Weren't parents thinking clearly? Parents will be thinking clearly. Parents won't be thinking clearly. Will parents be thinking clearly? Won't parents be thinking clearly? Parents have thought clearly. Parents haven't thought clearly. Have parents thought clearly? Haven't parents thought clearly? Parents had thought clearly. Parents hadn't thought clearly. Had parents thought clearly? Hadn't parents thought clearly? Parents will have thought clearly. Parents won't have thought clearly. Will parents have thought clearly? Won't parents have thought clearly? Parents had thought clearly. Parents had been Parents have been thinking clearly. Parents haven't been thinking clearly. Have parents been thinking clearly? Haven't parents been thinking clearly? Parents had been thinking clearly. Parents hadn't been thinking clearly. Had parents been thinking clearly? Hadn't parents been thinking clearly? Parents will have been thinking clearly. Parents won't have been thinking clearly. Will parents have been thinking clearly? Won't parents have been thinking clearly? In the same way, I'm going to add 5 more into my next video. I want you to keep practicing them loudly. What happens when you practice loudly? Your vocal cords will open and the words will come out freely from your mouth. You will gain a lot of confidence to ask and answer questions easily. I wish you all the best. Happy practicing. Friends, you may subscribe to my channel in YouTube. To subscribe, please press here. Follow me on Twitter by clicking here. Want to follow me on Facebook? Click here to like my page.